You are obviously strikingly gorgeous, and you know this.
Yes.
Right?
At 25, most women are stepping into their power, graduating college, chasing careers, reclaiming their independence. But Kianna Jackson wasn't most women. While her peers were polishing resumes, Kianna was rocking babies to sleep and cooking dinners she'd never get thanked for. She had committed herself, body and soul, to the full-time, unpaid, emotionally taxing role of stay-at-home motherhood for not one, but 2 children. And the man she'd chosen to build this quiet little life with, none other than her high school sweetheart turned domestic terror, John Terry's Dampier. They were supposed to be forever. That's what everyone said. Childhood love bonded by playlists, movie nights, food runs, and promises whispered at 17 that somehow carried the weight of marriage vows. When Kianna got pregnant and John enlisted in the army, they had a plan. She'd hold it down at home while he served, and once he got back, they'd pick up right where they left off, like a Nicholas Sparks novel, but with more snapbacks and less therapy. Except, the John who came home wasn't the John who left. He returned from the army a different man, cold, bitter, withdrawn. Whatever love they clung to had been scorched by something neither of them knew how to name. Loving him became exhausting. Being around him became painful. The future they'd once planned together now looked like a prison Kianna was quietly plotting to escape. And when she tried, he reminded her just how inseparable they were. There was no ring, no altar, no official, till death do us part. But that's exactly what he meant. And in the end, that's exactly what she got. Welcome to the American Crime Femicide channel. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for future uploads. Before John ever pulled the trigger, he had already been killing her slowly, quietly, day by day. Not with fists, not even always with words, but with detachment, with distance, with silence, the kind of silence that suffocates, the kind that hovers in the corners of a room where a man you once loved now sits, staring through you like you're just another item on the shelf he never dusts. That's the kind of silence Jackson had been surviving in. And when a woman has to survive in her own home, the tragedy is already in motion. Kianna wasn't loud about her pain. She didn't blast her relationship issues online. She didn't rant. She didn't retaliate. Instead, she poured everything she had into her kids, Kalani and Khalil. 2 little souls she loved more than life itself. Her broke besties, she'd call them. Not just a cute phrase, but a truth. They were her joy, her purpose, her reason for pressing on. She was trying to hold the family together by herself, while Dampier checked out of everything but his own self-pity. Let's rewind. John and Kianna had been together for years, since they were teenagers. It was supposed to be young love that grew into real love, but what it really turned into was a situation where one person evolved and the other just decayed. John joined the army. Kianna stayed behind and raised their daughter. When he came home, he brought more than a duffel bag. He came back with heaviness, with trauma he refused to name, with bitterness he refused to release. And yet, he refused to let her go. That's the twisted thing about men like John. They know they're not doing right by you. They know they've become a burden instead of a blessing. But they still want to keep you on a leash. It's not love, it's ownership, possession, a fear that you'll move on and become everything they never could. Dampier wasn't physically abusive yet, but the emotional erosion was already underway. He had all the symptoms: coldness, withdrawal, unpredictable moods, and a growing obsession with being anywhere but home.
It's a beautiful day, man. This is what it look like. You know what I'm saying? Got horses out there big. It's a nice day, man. I'm trying to get some shit like this here for real. You know what I'm saying? Nice long driveway. Gate in the front of that motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Pond in the back, pond in the front, pond for the cows right there, pond for the fishing right there, you know what I'm talking about? Life's good, man. I love this shit, bro. I love this shit. I don't know what else to do, bro. I love this shit. Just listen how peaceful it is out here, man. It's a nice ass day, bro.
He worked as a tower climber in Pearl, Mississippi, thousands of feet in the air, alone with his thoughts, disconnected from the life below him. It was a job that offered freedom, escape, autonomy. The exact opposite of what Kianna was feeling stuck inside the four walls of their shared life. When he wasn't climbing towers, he was trying to build a rap career from their living room, producing beats, posting clips, rapping into the void.
I know one day it's gonna be alright, yeah, it's gonna be alright. Fly away, black butterfly, yeah, black butterfly. Black butterfly, fly away, black butterfly, black butterfly, yeah.
In the beginning, it was tragic, offbeat verses, recycled bars, low-budget frustration disguised as ambition. But with time, the music got better.
Heartbeats on the track.
Sitting in the store, reminiscing on all the shit they put me through. Hard time made a nigga, you know what I'ma do. I come through stepping how I'm supposed to, I'm the living truth. Ain't got no time to waste, no time, I gotta make my do. I wanna do all the shit that I'm supposed to do. I tried to tell them how I was coming, they ain't think it was true. I gotta stay up out the way, I gotta get this loot. Do this for me and you. Gotta go get this money, you know. Can't waste no more time chasing these hoes. Commas out beside these zeros. Big bank roll so much can't even fold. I can honestly say that I'm grateful. Got so much to do just trying to feed my people. It get crazy when you on this road to riches. I can't waste no time ducking opposition. Peanut butter G19X for these niggas. I bully baby up, she want a sex on the nigga. Nothing like the other, count checks on these niggas. I come through do my dance, I just might step on a nigga.
Unfortunately, his parenting got worse. Kianna was left alone to carry the emotional load of raising their kids and navigating a relationship with a man who didn't seem to want to be there until she tried to leave. He didn't want to help, but he didn't want to lose her. And that's when things started slipping from disappointing to dangerous. In 2023, John got into a deadly altercation with his stepfather, Johnny McLaurin. It started with a fight involving Dampier's brother. John showed up, things escalated, and somehow a gun went missing and a butcher knife appeared. When it was all over, McLaurin was dead and John claimed self-defense. He was arrested for manslaughter. The bond was $100,000. He paid it. The charges disappeared. The trauma, however, stayed right where it was, festering inside a man who already didn't know how to cope. You'd think an experience like that would humble someone, shake them into healing. For some reflection, not John. He doubled down on his distance. He clung to his music. He posted sporadic photos with the kids like a PR campaign for fatherhood, but anyone close to them knew. Kianna was the one holding it all down. Dampier was a ghost with a Spotify link. And Jackson, she kept going. She smiled in pictures. She planned playdates. She stayed soft for her babies, even as everything around her got harder. And like so many women, she started quietly looking for an exit, a new job, maybe nursing school, something that would give her the tools to eventually stand on her own. She didn't broadcast it. She wasn't trying to hurt him. She just wanted peace. But JT didn't see peace. He saw betrayal, threat, disobedience. By the summer of 2025, their relationship was functionally dead. They weren't building anything together. They weren't raising the kids as a team. Kianna had grown tired of the silence, the resentment, the fake smiles. She started saying it out loud. She wasn't happy. And to a man like Dampier, those were fighting words, because he wasn't about to watch her walk into the life she deserved. Not while he was stuck in a body he couldn't stand, with dreams that never took off and demons he refused to face. On June 16, 2025, they took the kids to the park. It was supposed to be a normal outing. The sun was shining. The kids were playing. Kianna, ever the people person, struck up a conversation with another mother named Billy. The kids got along. They exchanged numbers. Kianna mentioned that she wanted to go back to school, that she was thinking about nursing. That was the last conversation she ever had as a free woman. They left the park, drove to McDonald's. The kids were in the back seat. Another argument broke out in the drive-through line, and just like that, John made his final choice. He shot Kianna right there in the car, with their children watching. Then, like the coward he was, he did the same to himself.
A normal day here at the McDonald's drive-thru turned out to be a deadly one, and right now there are still more questions than answers when it comes to what actually happened here. Now here's what we know so far. Brandon police say they were called to the restaurant just after 6:30 p.m. After receiving calls of a shooting. After arriving at the scene, investigators found one person dead from a gunshot wound. A second person, who the police believed to be the suspect, was also suffering from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. They were transported to a local hospital. Now, their condition is unknown at this time. As of now, police say this was an isolated incident and it's unclear the motive behind it. Now, the names of those involved are not being released tonight, and the restaurant remains closed for the remainder of the night as well. At this time, the shooting is still under investigation.
Kianna died at the scene, while John died 2 days later. The children survived. But what they saw, what they heard, what they'll remember, that's a death of a different kind. The aftermath was devastating, but what made it even worse were the online posts. People who had just seen Kianna, just talked to her, just exchanged numbers with her in a moment of innocent motherhood, now posting tributes in disbelief. Billy, the woman from the park, wrote, "I didn't realize I had just met this young lady at the park on Monday evening, just moments before this tragedy. Her kids played with my kids. She said her name was Kianna Jackson and asked if we could exchange numbers because the kids got along so well. She talked about going back to school for nursing. I would have never imagined that 5 minutes later she would be gone. She was so sweet with two of the most precious kids. My car door wouldn't close, so I was delayed a few minutes. As I drove past the scene and saw cops and fire trucks, I had no idea that it was her. Lord, please be with her kids and family." A friend of Kianna's posted with rage, "Rest up, Kianna Jackson. You and your babies didn't deserve that. JT Dampier was jealous of your light the whole time. Kianna had the most supportive family I've ever seen. He got her pregnant thinking it would break her, but Kianna loved kids and God gave her her own. He wanted her light so bad, he tried to take it. And I said try because divine light don't die. She's rising up while he's burning forever. I never seen a man so selfish. He really wanted her life. Dudes out here jealous of women like her because they'll never be loved the way she was." And another mutual friend posted, "I was just at their house mounting a TV 2 weeks ago. I'm not one to be in people's business, but the tension was obvious. Something wasn't right. Now their kids don't have parents because a grown man didn't know how to process his feelings like a man. Y'all emotional dudes out here better grow up. Killing your woman isn't strength. It's weakness. It's pathetic. And I don't respect it. So here we are again. Another black woman murdered by the man who claimed to love her. Another pair of children left to grow up with trauma as their inheritance. Another community pretending to be shocked when all the signs were there. This wasn't a heat of the moment tragedy. This was a man simmering for years in resentment, jealousy, and cowardice. A man who felt entitled to a woman's loyalty, but gave her nothing worth staying for. a man who turned his own failure into her funeral. John didn't just snap. He chose. He chose to ignore the chance to change. He chose not to get help. He chose to silence her the moment she found the courage to say she wanted more. And now 2 kids will carry the weight of that choice for the rest of their lives. Let's stop pretending this is rare. Let's stop acting like we can't see it coming. Every week, another woman is killed by the man she trusted. Every week, more kids are left in the wreckage. And every week, people say, he didn't seem like the type. Yes, he did. He was withdrawn, controlling, emotionally unavailable, furious at his own mediocrity and incapable of celebrating her growth. That's exactly the type. Jackson was a beautiful, loving mother. She had a future. She had plans. She had the strength to leave, and that's what got her killed. She didn't need a fairy tale. She just needed space to breathe. John made sure she'd never take another one. Let her name echo. Let her story spark change. Let her babies be protected, supported, and wrapped in every ounce of love she poured into them. And let every man like John know, the world sees you now. Your silence isn't misunderstood. It's a warning. Rest in power, Kianna Jackson. Your light lives on in your children.